Wait 1 second. We just wanted to mix the two there. Family, welcome back and welcome into another episode of A Different View. Man, maybe I got to do both of these. TikTok Live Nation, what to do? One time, how y'all been? How has your new year been? It's been a minute since your boy been on the podcast, right? It's been a minute since we've done a live episode of the podcast. So we hope that y'all are having a powerful and impactful start to your new year. I want to thank you, family, for your support. Again, it's been a minute since I've been on holidays and time of rest and all that kind of stuff. So we take the time to relax, family, right? We must always take the time to relax, I think. And we're gonna try to make it short today. I don't want to go too long. Folks got things to do. We all got things to do. But I just wanted to hop on just to let you know your boy ain't went nowhere. Again, life dictates that we do things. In the background on the camera, you can see of the little globe that I have in my office here. Picture of Venezuela. Family, we pray for peace in Venezuela, right? We know that the U.S. government has made a strike here against them under the guise or under the premise, however you need to say it, that the government there is corrupt, right? We just put that in there just as a waiting thing, just for just as a waiting thing for people in the mind, family. Unfortunately, when you start studying history, world history, right, U.S. history, you find very quickly that Massa and friends, as I like to say it, I hope that's TikTok allowed, right? They're okay attacking at will. They're okay unaliving at will. In the case of the Penobscot tribe, I believe up north, if I'm not mistaken, before this thing turned over in 1776, when it was Europe 1.0, under still British occupation, et cetera, et cetera. Again, just using those two words, British occupation, ought to let you know something. There was much of the same stuff that you see over in Venezuela now then, which lets you know that there's no difference from now and then, which is why we say on this podcast, family, ain't a damn thing changed but the date on the calendar. They attacked for, when you talk about Tulsa, Oklahoma, they attacked for the oil that was there, not only just because black folks was living in peace, although that was another reason, because dark, brown, and tan skin tone people were living in peace in Tulsa, Oklahoma, in Osage County, where you get the basis of the movie, The Killers of the Flower Moon. I guess, TikTok gets weird. So the unalivers of the flower moon. At the end of the day, family, that's design. That's planned. They don't want you with stuff. Venezuela, you got 300 billion barrels of oil under your feet. We're coming. There's a thing that you can find online, right? Rissa Islam, shout out your brother one time. And it's a message that I'd heard before. And he's talking about what God means, right? And again, this is some information I had heard listening to a different podcast. The GOD, gold, oil, and drugs, right? Now, again, when on the podcast, when we talk about substances, which we all can abuse. So before people get wild about what's a gateway and all that, again, family, many times I hate saying it, but the truth is, like, the thing is wrong in us. And then the substance helps us deal with the wrongs that we are either in us or going through. Right. Which, again, for those who go through substance abuse, we hope that you find peace. This is always a thing, right? That you find peace, you find completeness, wholeness, that you don't have to use any substance. Family, on this podcast, we also put food there, right? While they got weight loss drugs a mile wide now, or substances. Again, I don't know which one of these words you can use on TikTok. Ain't it a shame when you have a social media platform, you don't know which words you can use? Family, you ought to know. That's levels of occupation at work, but I digress. At the end of this goes beyond like respect and all that kind of stuff that they make up in their rules and regulations. This is dealing with what you can and cannot say. Yet you can post things and put videos on the same platform by which you regulate the users of the platform that have the opposite words you tell them they cannot say. This is when our brothers and sisters in the 60s and 70s talk about the man, the establishment, the system. This is what this is. This is what it looks like. You're going to be told you're wrong. They're right. They're going to give you a little bit of breadcrumbs off the table. They take in the whole of it. Family, that's how it works. And then they're going to tell you under the guise of quote unquote capitalism or whatever, that that's okay. And it's not. Workers to do their wage, family, got to stand up for workers' rights. It's unfortunate what's going on in Venezuela. It's a shame that President Trump wants to go up to Greenland. You know, I had heard it a certain way, family, that literally the kind of takeover that we're talking about is to go all across the planet. It blew my mind when I heard about it. But family, the further that you keep looking at this and the more you keep living, you see that's, and you read and you look through history, that's the truth. Occupation, it doesn't matter whether you're talking Eastern or Western hemisphere. British occupation in Australia, the minority people that we see different videos on TikTok fighting for their representation and their freedom. You go into Japan, as much as we want to get on the Japanese, and we just finished talking about this last December with Pearl Harbor. At the end of the day, family, when you talk about the partition over in India, I think maybe we need to relook at World War II a little bit different. Again, family, on this podcast, we'll let you know every one of those battles is pseudo. You didn't have to have the American, quote unquote, American Revolution. The only thing American about it was that Britain picked this area for their betterment and got into a squabble, right? Shout out Kendrick Lamar, squabble up. Although we know that squabble is, you know, we can expand the definition, I guess, right? In this case, one European gang up against another European gang while executing our native and indigenous peoples of this, but just saying what it is, unaliving. This is, you know, unaliving. This is what you get. This is what you get every time. Black codes, slave codes, regulating other people groups where they can go and can't go. I had somebody tell me one time that, oh, hey, you know, KJ, like, they had the freedmen, so they weren't slaves. You know, they was free to do whatever. Family, when you're in a system of slavery, whether you use and we're going to use European terms because we believe this is Europe 2.0. See again, right? You just spin the block, right? And then you know, all that right up in there. Yeah, Europe 2.0, family. We're talking about a group from, you know, up in, let's see. Let's kind of see if I can get this right. You know, all that's up in there, right? They came over, then this sale took a minute, but, you know, came over. That's just 2.0, family, right? That's how you got to think in your mind. And just repeat it today. I thought the issue was with over here, family. You see right there. I thought the issue was there. And now and of course we know, you know, and shout out Renee Good one time. Family, we again, all you need to know is that word slave. We like to overlook things because we sit in the seat of the scornful. This is what it again. Your boy's Christian, but you definitely ain't one of them Christians that you saw in Drewski's skit. Hey, we ain't putting on Christian Dior wearing, no. See again, I got to stop to say this here right before we go for today. If y'all as Christians are mad, because this, again, I'm Christian, but we're going to talk right? We're going to talk right this morning. Christian bullies is where we got to get to, family, right? You make that a hashtag and put it across TikTok, YouTube, any straight hashtag Christian bullies. Okay. We can hide behind orthodoxy. We can hide behind Catholicism. We can hide behind baptism. We can hide behind both baptism as an action or as a denomination, right? The word denomination letting you know a division, not a coming together, right? So we can keep playing that game. And it's gotten down to I'm trying to use words that I would use on Spotify, but not use the words I would use on Spotify and TikTok. We're addicted for money. Let me say it that way. We're addicted for pleasure. We're addicted for money. Again, it's other substances, right? As a result, what we're doing is an ass backward kind of life. We traded out people for money, time and family, for time at the office and time at the cubicle, time on master's plantation. That's how we say it. That's how I say it on the podcast, because that's what it is. And as a result, there's certain things here. And in the church house, you see the same thing. We can go and get in our bag about explaining Hebrew and Greek and the Septuagint and all that. We can do all this. We can quote the church fathers. Man, I get so tired of folks quoting these church fathers. Let me tell you something. What you read in the script, because that's what it means, is a scripture's a script. That's the base of the word. OK, and Shakespeare has reiterated this through time after that book was written, letting you know that all the world's a stage and that the players, men and women, is the players on the stage. It's already set. They're the actors and actresses. And then folks want to get mad because the black folks who came up with the word woke now being twisted and used incorrectly. You get mad in Hollywood when you start seeing certain representation. Now, we can say that they take images and twist them all the time, which is why we can warn not only the so-called black community, but any community. Do not allow massa to use your image to hurt you. We all ain't some thugs out here. We ain't all some willy-nilly kind of just when you look at the words rant and ramble. Right, because there's another thing we go wild with. The word rant and ramble all the time, dealing with an idea. Like, people don't know what they're talking about. They're just yelling in there. No, we don't bear each other's burdens, family. That's another one of the things in the Bible. The Christian is more concerned wearing Christian Dior and Christian Louboutins. Because I'm Christian and I'm saved and I'm walking in the blood of Jesus. See, you see, again, if you get mad as a Christian with Drewski making that joke, then you better hold your brothers and sisters accountable who are using holy things that you consider dear as a joke. This is why we say when we talk about Chris Rock that this mess ain't a joke. But again, we sit in the seat of the scornful. So we're coming up on February. And unfortunately, a lot of lives on TikTok is constantly on some things that we just need to move on. Wholesome ways that we can live as families. Can we get to that point? Because we can keep talking about who's a six-figure Negro, right? Even though TikTok got a problem with me using the word house Negro, the phrase, I should say. That's a historical distinction, by the way. I don't know why you would have a problem with me typing it in comments on a repost, but that's a distinction you gave us. Right. Or excuse me, because TikTok, this is the ambiguous way people talk. Not you as a company gave it to us, but a system designed and set up to keep certain things going. So we just going to talk in those that they gave that to us. That's the they we mean. Any group who holds those values to be self-evident. Right. Again, folks want you to look at life a little bit differently because they're okay in this charade, so we don't lose anything, family. And we get it. Nobody wants to lose anything. But for as long as you live in this life and they're okay trading out people for profit, you will lose operating in that type of mentality in society every time. To my Latin brothers and sisters, we've gone on the podcast talking about that. Unfortunately, this ain't to make nobody mad. But when you tell me Latin and Hispanic, you are telling me his Spain. We're not acting silly like trying to make excuse for these people. They went into these beautiful look at this area. Look, family, look. We talking South America, right? We talking Central America. Man, you know what we're talking about? Tribes of people, since my man got a problem with Panama, right? And the Panama Canal, right? You're just going down, we're just going down, looking around, just all this beautiful area. You go and you look at it. You look at pictures of the area and stuff. You look at these beautiful people, family. Let me just put this thing right back on Venezuela right now. What are we doing? See, when the Bible tell you that the great love of the body of people has grown cold, family, don't you know that, or wax cold? Don't you know that's real? That's real. And it starts in the home. All of the different tribes and different places all throughout these lands. I had the chance, me and the missus, to go to the aquarium out in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And while we're there, we're looking through some of the stuff over in the Amazon as we come to the close. There's a fish out there, family. PACU. That fish got teeth like humans, family. You know that? Teeth like humans. The pachu. I believe it's either in South America or it's in Central America. I got the pictures on my phone, but you believe that? A fish somewhere either in this landmass or in this one that got teeth like humans. Again, PACU. That's a great designer, fashioner, and maker, family. I don't know what to tell y'all. There's some fish over in this part, right, where they say all the Negroes come from, in Africa, that walks on like almost arm-like extensions and swims at the same time. Family, we keep making distinctions. Let me be very clear. And we hurt each other in the home as a result. We are making, because again, we in that love season, right? It's the season of love. So we're going to start right around Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, right? A couple days before his birthday. This is a season of love, family. For as much as we defend, do you know we defend because we love each other? Who has deceived you, Doc? I always do this with Doctor, right? Malcolm X, our dear brother, told us, who taught us to hate ourselves? Who has taught you to stop defending your people? Because they light skin tone? Or is it because they're too dark? Who is telling people, a brother, right? Because we get this a lot, right? With the so-called white person and the black person. Now, the way I heard it now, again, we done heard it from the good doctor, and shout out Mrs. King, right? Man, if y'all heard Miss Bernard King, I believe it was yesterday, man, that was a church service and a half. Can I tell y'all? Man, we talking about she lit up that podium, man. See, Massa wants you to think, how dare you talk down? See, this is this thing with Charlie Kirk, family. This is this thing when we're talking about certain people groups on the planet. No, we don't say it's everybody. Freedom, justice, and equality is what the dark brown, anybody who is opposite, I'll say it that way, of this mess you see out here. You okay doing another Trail of Tears? That's what you watching with ICE right now, family. I'm sorry. If you telling me this great, look at this up here. Look at this up here for a second. Look at the old maps. You look at all of that. You look at all that that's now called the United States. That's why we say, family, on this podcast very clearly. Let's put this back on Venezuela over there. With the border There's documents on the table, family, talk about that border that went across from Texas, the Rio Grande down there. They weren't supposed to cross it. And the other side wasn't supposed to cross it, or a battle would ensue. Now, of course, we know everything from up over here, past Texas, right, that they took, that they lied to the indigenous people on those lands and took it and started battles. Again, the book, The Great Evil, the Bible, I believe Native America by Chris Montanumpa. Matanumpa, I believe, is how you spell his last name. I could be wrong on that. Somebody in the comments, if you find out about it, just let me know. Death and destruction, family, is all you're going to find with these, unaliving. Because again, the TikTok is, and you can get weird regulating language that you gave us. But that's, again, not you as in TikTok, you know. All of that, family, just constant taking. Now you want Greenland for whatever resources they have, family. Go up across the world. It doesn't matter where you go up and look. Again, we had just finished. We were talking about the occupation, the way it went down with Britain. So, of course, you've got, again, Europe, a family. This is not a knock on anybody, but we're just saying what it is. As a group that's at the head of the class. Just like in your own class, right? Or our own classes that we grew up in. There were certain folks at the head of it. There were certain folks at the back of it. It is what it is. It's just spin the block. Australia, right? Issues in Asia. We just issues in the South Pacific. Is in the South Pacific, over where you've got the Philippines and all of that, Samoa. Family, they just taking. Listen, we already know about the Vietnam War. How you gonna this? They're again, same kind of thing over here. This is the problem. Again, things that you see in the home. You see, things you see in the street, you see in the home first. And the way Miss King so eloquently put that is the truth. It's about raising up people. And she was right. And your boy must repeat her words. This ain't the time to go backward, family. You better drop this mess about all this weird kind of cultural set tripping we doing out here. Because that is a divisive nature that was put there by Massa. People want to make jokes on the Willie Lynch letter. That's your business. Over here, family, we see that as a warning that there's going to be certain people that are against, and there's certain people that are for, that they put it that way. That does not mean that's how it is. And we keep living life in their battle. Don't you know we done and we tired of fighting? There's no need for this endless bloodshed you see everywhere. Folks can't even have a good argument in the street, damn it, without somebody reaching for the weapon of defense for us to hurt each other. We don't even have fist fights no more. And we're good on explaining it away, family. It's time to stand up on our square as men and women and start showing love and respect again. Or else all you're going to get is another nation who's using our tax dollar to attack another nation and make up lies on their government, acting like they are so holy. It was the same government that pushed our native brothers and sisters around in the Trail of Tears that you are watching again with ICE under the guise of legality that was never there until they got there. Because this world is free to roam, family, as the Maker made it. Another thing Christians have gone away from. Chasing the dollar, and that's what Drewski was making fun of, as he should have. Because we look like a joke out here. When you got to the end of that video and that man is coming to that dear pastors and leaders out here, you ought to stand up on your holy faith. But you can't, because you connected to Massa. You can't have two masters. That's what the books say, don't it? You will love one or hate the other. That's how it works. We keep trying to make this work differently instead of just, that would be like everybody in the movie Jumanji. Y'all remember the movie Jumanji back in the day? I do. And what we decide to do is replay the game opposite thinking it's going to work. Don't you remember some of that was going on? Oh, well, maybe if we could do this, we could. And then no, something else would happen for that family. This is the name of the game. Start loving each other in the home. Who gives a damn which one is the leader of the household? Love each other and work as a team. And it shows how piss poor the teamwork is. We are all subject to this. So before y'all get in the bag, don't get in the bag, family. Don't you get. You better keep that bag right there on the side of the road with the rest of the Christians waiting on the rapture. And we had to hear all that mess last year. Again, I don't know if the script can be any clearer that no man knows. Even though we looking, no man knows. We are told to occupy until all that happens. So can we get busy helping each other, please? We waiting on an algorithm to put us on. We waiting on this, that, family. Where was that in Tulsa? What did y'all see that anywhere? I didn't see it nowhere in Tulsa. Hold on. Let's just spin the block. So that's Texas, Oklahoma, a little up higher, right? I didn't see it nowhere there, right? Over in the Carolinas, Georgia, all that, right? Unfortunately, Atlanta, Georgia got this was a wild thing I learned a while back ago, but it's come back to my mind. So I've been talking about it again. We got relationship season coming up. 2023 off. No, 2025's data based off 2023, where Atlanta's like one of the top where it comes to STIs and STDs. Family, what are we doing? You can catch syphilis down there, gonorrhea, whichever one of them you want. You better be careful if you're going freaking in Georgia, family. We're just letting you know. But family, we're just telling the truth. Again, another one of those things that Massa likes to regulate that is listed in the rules from Dr. Neely Fuller Jr. as 9, and then Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. May you both rest in peace, brother and sister, right? That let us know that sex is one of those things that Massa has control of. They're going to give you an improper view of it, family. That's how it works. Or excuse me, we're on TikTok. Schmex. Got us talking weird language. What is schmex? They're going to give you improper image on body image. They're going to give you improper image on how to do it. Family, you can go back to many different positions. These things are regulated by kings. Holy people telling you which one is unholy and all this kind of stuff. You better be careful listening to folks and start looking at the natural elements and order of things. Because that's what's been put here. Which is why when you go all up across there, all up in here, right? The Caribbean, let me not forget our Caribbean brothers and sisters, right? All up in here, the people of the Carib, and come from Africa. We talking to people of the Carib. They'll tell you themselves they've been there, right? South America. People living free. You go back in the old documents, they have clothes on, family. So what are we talking about? See, just because you adopted like some stuff here from the captors, right? Like up in France, Europe, Portugal, Spain, right? We're just talking about the big four. They got the big three in basketball a bunch of years ago, and they still trying to do that mess for whatever reasons. Again, it's money based, but I digress on that one. That's a different topic for a different day. Shout out to again. We get into the stuff going on in Nigeria, but I'm not going to. Again, we're going to leave that for a different day. There's another sister on here who's standing up on her square, right? Shout out to you, Celeste, one time. We got to stand with each other, family. At the end of the day, listen, wrong is wrong. Excuse me. Wrong is wrong. You're watching innocent people die while somebody's kicking you a hole in this game. You better be careful. This planet is big. Your Muslim brothers and sisters will tell you how many square miles it is. You didn't watch me spin this globe, family. It's big, separated by a lot of water. We've fallen into a trap. And it's time for those who see it to say it. Right? We see this brother Justin Brown out here, bro. Shout you out one time. Breaking down truth and letting you know what the game is, family. This is what it is. It's a lot of sleight of hand. It's the same thing you go see at your carnivals and stuff when it get warm. Again, certain parts of the nation is cold. Certain parts of the nation, maybe not so cold. It's because it's wintertime. But right about the time they're going to come back around later on this year and try to push time forward when you don't need to, it's naturally already pushed, family. Hello, talk to me. The planet is already pushed. We don't need to further push it. When you go back and you look at daylight savings time, we got a dude doing this to study butterflies. Some scientists, just do it when it's lighter out. And we know maritime stuff and all that kind of stuff. We got enough technology now, family. We won't have to do that mess no more. Right. But I digress. As we come to the close, family, because again, we ain't taking up people's time, man. Understand, family, that we are in an imposed battle. I don't like using the word war because when you study the etymology of the word war, the etymology of that word means confusion. From our Proto-Germanic brothers and sisters, it means confusion. And every one of these wars you saw, family, was confused. It's confusion. Europeans fighting Europeans and bringing that mess, again, from over in the East. We ain't playing this game. Again, you bring it from the East over here, where people are living in peace. They already have their own preset way of living. It's already been shown that they had their own societies. There were no primitive kind of There were many tribes that people do not recognize still to this day. We have talked before on the podcast about the Californian Indians, specifically the central ones, that they said were dark, had matted bushy hair. That's a fro, family. Don't. That's a fro. They let you know that they got the nose, the same big lips. This is documented info, family. Again, they got us in an imposed battle where we have to continuously keep fighting each other. Hispanic and Latin folks fighting black people. People over in India and Asia fighting with each other. Again, we spoke on the partition in World War II. You're just causing battle for no reason. But again, when you're talking conquer and divide, that's how it works. Which is why you see much of this. Hey, this government corrupted this one. We got to do this. We got to do that. Yeah. No. This was the issue, family. And again, as a New Yorker, we can boldly, we talk about this. Again, sometimes we get in the bag like that, like, oh, people can't talk about something because everybody got a view that is valid, right? That we can bring to the table in a respected manner. Which is why we say when we leave comments, family, to do it respectfully. Why? Because that is a way we live on. You can see the opposite clearly. Everybody is, before the fight happened out in the parking lot where somebody is unalive, you can see it happen right online. That's why we don't blame social media. We blame the people. Why would I blame social media? That'd be like I blame neighborhoods for how things go sideways. No, family, you got to blame the people. You right there next to them, you see. You seeing them. That's like blaming the retail stores for the fact kids are running around in it, right? Well, if your store wasn't so big, you know. No. We must have control of ourselves. Again, we just finished talking about this in Atlanta, man. Like, you have all these different cases of STDs, STIs, however they want to say it, coming up, family. But you don't you know you better be careful? That's showing people out of control. We understand. Man, see, again, we on TikTok here. I'll just say it. We can understand that we're some orgasm chasers. We get it. We get it. Hey. We get it. It's a thing. It's a human, but there's a way of doing it in order and decency, family. Right? Again, we have said the 3 on here. Again, we're in relationship season. Number 1, no spreading diseases. What are we doing? We can chase the good high all day long, family. No passing diseases. Number 2, no unwanted kids. Do you think these women want these kids, man? Do you think they want these? Because the men are booking it. We're just talking from percentages, family. This isn't conjecture. Do you think the women want these babies just to, again, we orgasm chasing? Do you really think? Of course not. So why would we do it? Right. And number 3, no excessive broken hearts. Family, you know this is a game. It's a game we're playing a little bit. Sometimes because we make it more of a game than what it should be, right? And as a result, as they say, to make an omelet, you got to break a couple of eggs. But what we said, family, is excessive. No more time for the players. Sisters, it's time to turn it up. This is a brother saying this. Maybe we look toward the geeks and the nerds a little bit more. Look. They made money off a caricature, off of a thing for real in the village with the TV show Family Matters. How many people remember that back in the day? Two black people. It's a damn shame it's like this. And we hold this show near and dear as far as black entertainment goes. Another one of the things in the people activity that Massa has control of. So that's why we don't get on. We don't get on Cardi B and Glorilla and we don't Sexy Red, all that. We don't get on them to this point. Is that you're only showing one part of the culture. It's a good time shaking your ass and all. We get it. Again, Frank Sanu got a problem, right? Because there's another video you can find on TikTok where he's talking to a Haitian woman. And then there's a separate one where he's talking to another brother, gave him his ass a little bit. Dave Anderson, right? Where he's saying that black folks ain't got no culture. No, we have one. We left it. Much of it through the division set by Massa, other parts of it because of our own impropriety, of which we are coming back to because of the pressure of life we're going through to get us back grounded, aka stay woke. Not the mess that Mass is saying. We talking about our brothers, sisters back in the 60s and 70s when we started saying it. When they were fighting us and unaliving us over in Vietnam. That's something you can look up, family. That's where the DAP come from. When brothers we pounding the fists and we doing all these handshakes and stuff, family, you go back and you look at it. During the Vietnam War, brothers serving this country, dealing with occupation in another part of the planet where there are brown and tan skin tone and some dark skin tone people over in the Vietnam. While we play this communism capitalist game again, socioeconomic thought, family, is harmless in and of itself. The problem is the people operating the socioeconomic thought. This is why this is why you can have body image issues, a way a woman's supposed to wear her hair, the way she's supposed to dress, family. They made this mess up. They made it up. It's not a thing. You go back over in the Celtic culture. We don't care where it is on the planet, family. You go back into old school. Then we live in this made up mess. Go back and restudy some things. You find out women, they putting flowers in their hair. That meant something over there. We're just saying what it is. You're talking about human culture untouched by greedy hands. It looked different. It looked different. Maybe Kendrick Lamar really is right. They're not like us. But that don't mean we have to operate the same way they do. Say it again, KJ. Yeah, you got it. They may not look like us, family, and we can see these clear differences. Now, they have a disregard for life, only regard for their own. But that don't mean we have to operate back at them the same way they do with us. It's time for us to dig deeper into the wells of life and reality, creation, the way it is made, the way it has always been. And use that energy to carry us through this mess. Family, that's what we got for you today. Thank you for hanging on with your boy one time. We love y'all. God bless y'all, man. We hope you have a powerful and impactful Tuesday, right? We will talk to y'all soon again. And your boy ain't went nowhere. We just doing our thing here, right? We just doing our thing. Family, we thank y'all for your support. When you talk about there's another urban, I want to say urban ebony. Yeah. She made a shirt, right? And shout out to Wu-Tang one time, man. You know, some of the stuff that Wu-Tang was talking about while still embedded, again, entertainment, like we said, is another one of the 9 points of activity that Massa uses, right? That Dr. Neely Fuller Jr. brought out to us. And we know there's a caricature that he gives when it comes to black culture. So you're not going to get the message from Funk Master Flex, right? Or Grandmaster Flash. I could be wrong because I think Funk Master Flex is the DJ. Anyway, you're not going to get songs like The Message. You're going to get bang, bang, pew, pew, pew. That's what you're going to get. That's what they want to put out. But in reality, we need songs like The Message again. We need stuff like what Kendrick Lamar's talking about when he's speaking on history, colonization. And this sister's shirt, instead of using cream, instead of cash rules everything around me, it said the colonizer. Hey, 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 yeah. The colonizer ruined everything around me. Family, I encourage any and everybody to go get that hoodie. Go look that sister up again. Urban Ebony. Search it in the thing. Go get that shirt. And it's a statement that used to be said in the church while we've been talking about Drewski and that awesome video he did, man. You wouldn't give tithes and offerings, so that's the reason you wouldn't pray for that, brother? Pastors, y'all doing this mess? And then you see some of the responses of these folks. We don't act like that. And that's some blah, 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 blah. And then you got to get spooky. So you got to put the devil in there. There's some devil demonic. Blah, 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 blah. Listen. That's how y'all act. The brother just called you on it. It's a slight nudge from the maker, from the creator to get your house in order. That's all. We don't need cables hanging from something, doing cantatas and stuff. Come on. We don't care about none of that mess. Baby need a new pair of shoes, right? Jesus can work it out. That's an old gospel song. That's what we about, man. Light bill due, ain't got the money to pay that light bill. Colonizers ruined everything around me, family. And around you too. We run around with their names, family. It's an awesome little deal here because, again, we up also on Black History Month. So not only relationship and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., things of life we talking about, family, also relationship month and Black history. There's another woman I may post. I'm going to repost it. I posted on the page. So just where you can find the podcast here as we come to the close. You can find the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and Pandora Podcast, right? It's called A Different View. KJ, right, is the artist name. You can find it on YouTube at A Different View 80. And of course, here on TikTok, whenever we pop on and do some lives here at KJ's Clock, right? KJ's Clock. That's my handle here. I want to say Wynn, and literally spelled W-Y-N-N. It's a black woman. Dealt in fashion. Again, we going to repost it because it was cool when I saw it. It was really cool when I saw it to see the same spelling in life, right? Fashion designer, black woman. How powerful, right? Because it's what we do. We deal in fashion. We all over. Surfing. I seen some Ethiopian sisters skating. We already know we're good with the mic, right? Shout out your boy KJ one time. We're all over, family, and we're one people. This is why in the Caribbean, Bob Marley saying one love could not be reiterated any higher, and I'll continue to say it. Because that's the point. Family, I love y'all. God bless y'all, man. We out of here, man. We out of here. We could talk about this stuff all day. I love y'all. God bless y'all, family. Until next time. Oh, the website, the webpage, A Different View Looking Forward. It's on Facebook. You can search it, A Different View Looking Forward, and go there. Sign on. I don't have anything wild yet. And when you go there, all these different things. We got historical stuff. We'll have some funny stuff in there just to keep it, light and airy for folks. So everything we put there, family. When you want to find references for things, stuff happening now, stuff happened then, all that kind of stuff right there. A Different View Looking Forward, right? Just playing off the podcast name. Again, family, I love y'all. God bless y'all. I will talk to you soon. And as always, and until next time, look to find the beauty in a different view.